Established veterans and young rising stars get together as the USA meets Mexico in snowy Utah.
Do you know how many times the USA has played Mexico in the snow? Well, our educated guess is never. Tonight will be a first. USA versus Mexico tonight from Rio Tinto Stadium. We welcome you to snowy Utah with Julie Foudy. I'm JP Dellacamera. Besides the elements being a big story tonight, how about the return of Kristine Lilly to the national team? She has played 4 decades with this team.
4 decades. And JP, I'm not a big numbers stat gal, but when you talk about Kristine Lilly, you got to talk numbers, because 343 international appearances. She has more than any male or female on this planet, way more. 129 goals, second on the list all time for women. And then look at her over the decades. Look at those numbers. I mean, just not the longevity, but the productivity of this player over 4 decades is incredible.
Another player to look for up top, the great goal scorer Abby Wambach. She broke her leg, so she missed out on the Olympics. Now she is back and playing at a pretty high level again.
And broke her leg literally the game before the Olympics. So many have wondered how she's going to do, not just physically coming back, but mentally, since it was such a heartbreaker of an injury. And she's done very well for her pro team, the WPS Washington Freedom. And about 1 year from her injury, back playing, she scored for the United States the very important 100th goal, a great goal. And she said, I actually feel better, my mobility's better post-injury.
Well, fans here in Sandy, Utah get a chance to watch one of the world's best players for years. After nearly 2 years away, Kristine Lilly is back and back in the USA's starting lineup versus Mexico.
It has been snowing this entire day, and it continues here at Rio Tinto Stadium. And how ironic, I guess, that the USA will be dressed in all white today as we check out the starting lineups for the USA. Nicole Barnhart is in goal.
And 3 changes from the game on Sunday against Mexico. You just mentioned Nicole Barnhart in goal. And then also on the left side, which is an area Pia Sundhagen has been tinkering with a lot. Stephanie Coxon at left back. And then Kristine Lilly, as we mentioned, getting the big start at left midfield for the United States.
Mexico have some changes as well from Sunday, including in goal with Vanegas getting the start.
But the one player you're going to look to today, and Mexico is going to look to all game, is Maribel Dominguez. You may remember her from her days with the WSA's Atlanta Beat in 2003. She is their proven goal scorer and the go-to player, no question, for Mexico.
Weather conditions, well, you see it. Fans are braving the elements here. Today, 37 degrees where we are in Mexico City, 72 degrees and much clearer than this. So all these games for Kristine Lilly, 343 and her 344th is in the snow. In Utah, we are underway with the USA in the all-white. Green and white belongs to Mexico, and you'll see that ball die there quite a bit. The snow has piled up. There's only a couple of blank spots on the field when the shovels came out earlier. The area where Nicole Barnhart is defending is pretty clear. Push long. Tap back towards Castillo. She's not going to get to it. Heather O'Reilly tracking it down to the box. And again, the ball has died there. Stays in play, and now finally toward the sideline. We can't even anticipate it going out. It's going to be tough to see on the sidelines as well. You've never played in this before, so what kind of advice could you give?
Clearly, I have nothing to offer, being the California kid.
Girl.
But you know what they'll have to figure out in these first minutes is just how the field's playing. I mean, it's a wet snow on top of it having snowed all day.
Go after every ball, because even if you think it's going to go out, it probably won't here tonight. Up top, they're going to be looking for Maribel Dominguez if they could find her.
I'll tell you one thing they're going to figure out early. The United States, and Pia Sundhagen in particular, has been saying we want to possess the ball more. They're going to find out early. That's going to be tough to do today.
That's Dominguez, number 10, looking for Perez, 17 wide, blocked by Cox. And now help is there. Lilly. When this night is over, the players may tell you that it was fun, we'll have to wait and see. But one thing for sure, they'll use the word different, I would think.
Yeah, because I don't know how many of these players out there have actually played in snow. I mean, Christine Lilly grew up in Connecticut, so she's experienced it. The one thing they're going to want to try and do is get it into those boxes, though. You can see they've cleared those, as you mentioned, JP. Although the United States box that they're attacking into is still a lot snowier than the box Mexico's attacking into.
Played in towards that box. That's Lilly picking it up, 13 in white, trying to cut it back. That's blocked. Stays up for grabs. Flick the other way. Intended for Perez, and that goes out, throwing for Stephanie Cox, who was the only U.S. player who warmed up in shorts, and she is a California native.
And a little bit nutty, apparently.
Mexico will try to break it up that right flank with Rangel. Gordillo backs her up on that flank. Expect a lot of giveaways here tonight. Lead pass intended for Dominguez is cut off. Sent forward. It's Rachel Bueller. Now into the box. The U.S. will try to move it. Deflect it out. And they're going to have their first corner.
And here's where the United States have a huge advantage over Mexico, just size-wise. So many targets, Abby Wambach being one we're looking at right now, that they can go to in the air. Mexico typically not a good aerial team.
Look at them shoveling, trying to make room there for the corner. An interesting night for the grounds crew here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Carly Lloyd sent it in low. That's blocked. Deflected out. There was an appeal for a handball. Lilly trying to keep her balance there. Blocked, and Perez sends it out of play. A throw in for the U.S. Here in the 4th minute, snowy night in Utah. They're playing with a yellow ball so that you can see it on the field. And that'll happen when you play games in the snow. We've seen that in Europe, mostly really on the men's game. Lapel bit, and you see again how that ball just dies there. Up for Lilly. Wonder how long, Jules, it would take to adjust to the elements now that the players have seen it and played in it a little bit.
Well, the first thing you notice is that a long ball just dies over the top, so you got to overhit them. And then the great news is it's not going to skip away from you. It'll check up, and so that's a huge advantage to the United States, because I think their front line is faster than the back line of Mexico.
Dominguez chasing it down, knocked away by Bueller, and that goes out of play. The U.S. has been a dominating team. We equate them a little bit with what's going on in women's basketball. UConn and their unbelievable streak. They're again in a Final Four. How are these teams similar in the way they dominate?
Well, the U.S. team may not beat everyone by like 40 points every game, yeah. But you can see they have been almost equally dominant over the last 76 games, which is, I mean, the UConn women are just amazing. What was the last game? 40 points?
Yeah, last night.
Yeah, haven't lost by under double digits this entire year. So
the UConn player on the U.S. team as well, Megan Schnorr, who is available to play tonight on that subs bench.
And the fun thing about a game like this, though, is that here's a team you already played just a few days ago. You beat pretty solidly 3-0. But now this brings a whole new set of challenges. So as a team, how do you react to that? Do you get frustrated by it? You know, it's not the game plan, obviously, you set out to accomplish when you come into this game.
6th minute, USA and Mexico scoreless in the snow. But it's straight up by Rangel. U.S. pouncing on this. Lloyd outside to Heather O'Reilly. That's tapped away. It's Maria Castillo's pass into space. Barnett has to come out. That's blocked by Dominguez, who got a piece of it. But there's the danger when that ball just died there. Tough to anticipate as a goalkeeper. At the other end, Amy Rodriguez getting inside, and that one's blocked. And even with a speedy player like Rodriguez, how can you be speedy in the snow?
And that was a great first touch and by Rodriguez. Here you're going to look at the Mexico chance, and this is the danger, as you said, because Nicole Barnhart, typically that ball would come into her box, but it didn't, so she catches herself out. And I think actually this type of weather plays into the hands of Mexico, even though they're not familiar with it. I think they're a less technical and athletic team than the United States, so it equalizes the game a bit.
Throw it on the far side of the field. It's put back into play. Mexico working in the middle. That's the captain, Lupita Orbis. Loose and now gathered in. O'Reilly from that right flank. Looked like she missed hit it, but she stayed right with it. Takes it toward the end line, and that's blocked. Garcia Mendez defending. She's a freshman attending the University of Stanford. Here's Whitehill. Lost it there. Mexico tries to move it upfield towards Perez. Perez currently with St. Louis in the WPS. Their season gets started on April 10th. A lot of these players coming from there. This is Box, who will also play for St. Louis, leading it right side. Intended for Rodriguez, and that goes out of play.
And here we're going to get the look by Amy Rodriguez. And what a great first touch this is, because it gets it out of the snow and just a little bit long. But I think it was a great idea. Venegas does well to come off her line for Mexico.
Castillo plays it back. Garcia Mendez gave it right back to O'Reilly. She took a bump but stayed right with it. Good balance. Nice flick idea from Wambach. We saw a lot of that in training yesterday. And they'll be trying to combine with her teammates. This is Dominguez, blocked there. Mueller got it forward. O'Reilly's pass to Rodriguez. Rodriguez sending it inside the Mexican box. That's going to be cleared. Not out of danger yet. Carly Lloyd tried to juggle it. She's broken up. Mexico clears and gives it right back to the U.S. Cox over the top. Garcia Mendez. And here's an opportunity for Mexico. Getting numbers forward on that left side. Perez holds it there. And that's blocked. Whitehill played it back to Barnhart. Up towards Shannon Box, who wears the captain's armband now for this team, with Christy Rampone out on maternity leave and Lori Kolupny out with concussion-like symptoms. And those are players that have captained the side recently. So Shannon Box joins a long list of big-time players to wear the armband.
We talked about it with her yesterday, being a captain, how different it was for her, and she said, "Oh, a lot of off-the-field distractions that I'm not used to." But she's doing a great job, and has always played a leadership role to begin with. So,
but Venegas will put it back into play. A reminder that the 2010 FIFA World Cup is coming this summer to ESPN. Action begins on ESPN June 11th, live from South Africa. USA taking on England Saturday, June 12th, the match everybody's waiting for. LePelbet, who plays for Boston in the WPS. 3 players in the starting lineup tonight from the Boston Breakers. Be a throw in here for the United States. They brought 24 players into this camp, dressing 18. Of the 24, 23 play in the WPS. The only exception, Alex Morgan from the University of California. Morgan is available tonight as a sub. In his space, Garcia Mendez tracking it down with Rodriguez. Again, that's a ball you would have thought that would have gone out of play, but it does not. Castillo with that pass. Foul was called on Shannon Box. Head coach of the U.S. team, Pia Sundhage. She's only lost once. This is her 50th game. How is the team different under her leadership, Julie?
well, Pia, anytime you talk to her about soccer, she's just beaming. You know, when you're on the sidelines with her or practice with her, I mean, she just lives and breathes the game. And I think that rubs off on the players. When they're out there, they're having fun. I mean, they started the game with a snowball fight when we got at her today. There's just a lightness to the team, which I think is very healthy. And yet, you know, work incredibly hard and very serious. But
no, I did not.
I think it's a great balance she brings. And she loves the possession game. She loves mobility. I mean, there's so many things tactically that she does that the team responds to that they like.
Over the top and towards Venegas. One of the things that Pia Sundhage told us yesterday, every practice, every game, she said, is a tryout. And this team has a lot of depth. There'll be some interesting decisions come next year's World Cup that'll be played in Germany. Some good players will be left off the squad.
Yeah, and it is the case where it's a tryout every time because there's only so many opportunities you can see them with the league.
Kristine Lilly sends it forward. Vanegas is right there with it. And she'll put it back into play. Not where she wanted to put it. O'Reilly will take it back for the U.S. Rodriguez towards Kat Whitehill, and it deflected off Whitehill, out of play. When these teams came in today, they got their first look at the snowy conditions. We're going to show you in a moment what the Mexican players did, which was rather interesting. Something for the scrapbook, I guess. Dominguez pass. Perez lost it there. Box. O'Reilly over the top towards Wambach. And that's going to be swept away by Ruby Sandoval. Again, that ball just died right there in the snow.
Suddenly, this field's gone from about 75 yards wide to about 90. There's no rest. It's never going to go out of bounds.
One of the things that the U.S. talked about, improving their flank play, switching the point of attack. Probably not going to see much of that here tonight.
No, I know when we talked to Pia yesterday, it was we want to possess the ball better, we want to switch the point, and we want to get our flank, you know, both the outside backs and the outside midfielders forward. I don't know how much he's going to evaluate with that.
This is going to be more what it's like tonight, fighting for balls like that in the middle of the field. Tough to switch it from one side to the other this evening. Right side for Whitehill. She'll loop that one over. Vanegas grabbed it. There was a good challenge, though, from Wambach. If a goal is going to be scored, you'd think it could come on something like that.
And that's exactly what the U.S. is going to have to do more of, and you're going to see more of, is just, as you say, whipping it into the mixer, getting it in there and seeing if you can get a mistouch by the goalkeeper or it skips by.
Whitehill's long service. Coming in, Carly Lloyd with a chance, blocked by Vanegas. Quality save there. Wambach tries to push through. That was well done by Lloyd. Wambach right at the end line. O'Reilly. That's blocked. Ronhel's pass. Garcia Mendez intercepted. Whitehill at that sideline. She'll cross it in. Deflected past Lloyd to Shannon Box. Box's pass ahead. O'Reilly with Rodriguez. It's just behind Amy Rodriguez. She'll settle it, play it back. O'Reilly not going to have much time to wind up and fire like that. Bueller. Some better possession, though, for the U.S. Several touches here and keeping the ball. Chested down. Lloyd. Long distance shot. True bounce, though, to Vanegas. No rebound.
And here's the one good look. Kat Whitehill is gonna be whipping these in all day. Abby tries to get there, but Vanegas holds onto it pretty firmly. And then this is just what Carly Lloyd is so good at doing in the midfield, what makes her so dangerous. And the ability to do that with, you know, 3 inches of snow on the ground is pretty remarkable.
A couple of good chances for the U.S. Are they adapting more now to these field conditions than Mexico is?
Well, I think you're seeing, okay, I got to adjust the pace of the ball as well. I got to ping it in there. If I'm going to hit it in there, it's going to get stuck. If I'm going to hit it lightly, I got to really give it some pace.
I saw the number there, 18 goals for Wambach against Mexico, by far her highest total against any opponent. Next best for her, 11 goals against Norway. Into space now, long run, but the flag is up on Maribel Dominguez, somebody that you've played against before in international competition.
Tremendous respect for Maribel. She is a wonderful player, very skillful, technical, great finisher. She hasn't played, though, for Mexico since 2007. She's been in Spain playing, and so haven't seen her at all. And Leo Cuellar, the coach of Mexico, said she's just trying to get a rhythm back with the team.
Shannon Box will switch it far side. Stephanie Cox over the top. Wanted Lloyd. It landed at the feet of Lilly. For Lloyd on the turn. Carly Lloyd looks. Tried to get through and could not. That's Garza. Kat Whitehill plays for the Washington Freedom. Gets it back from O'Reilly. Whitehill into the middle for Box. Shannon Box this time off the left foot. Tap free. Lilly holding, chipping inside, try to find Rodriguez. Kristine Lilly back on the team. She told us yesterday she was pleasantly surprised with the phone call she got from Pia Sundhage after being off the team for just about 2 years. Now she's back, and now thinking about maybe playing in the World Cup. It's in her mind if she gets that opportunity, because obviously you have to be picked by Pia Sundhage. How do you think her chances are right now?
I think the fact that Pia's looking at her was an encouraging sign, because Christine thought that she wasn't being looked at. And like she said, I was completely shocked when I got the call, and all of a sudden you're back in the USA uniform. So I think if she has a very good WPS season, which I think she will, then I think her chances are excellent, because why wouldn't you want a player like that on your team with that experience, leadership, and productivity?
Imagine she said she had some nerves when she came out to play with this team. You know, only Christine would probably say that, but had some nerves because she hadn't played for the team in a while.
I know. I said, how did it feel on Sunday getting out there? And she goes, Jules, I was so nervous. It was so weird. She goes, then I took my first couple touches. I said, oh, I'm all right. I can do this.
Heather O'Reilly played it back. Shannon Box looks for Wambach. That's deflected. Lily shipping it high.
And Lily's so good about just getting in the right places. She has a sixth sense in front of goal, just taking a half chance and getting on the end of things. And here she takes a pretty good first touch and then just tries to chip it over the goalkeeper, but a little bit too much on it. Might have done better to drive it low.
U.S. getting it back. Rodriguez for Wambach in the box. Abby Wambach holds it there, waits for the help to come. Wambach looks, the shot, nice save there. And it'll go out for a corner. Vanegas has made at least 2 big-time saves in this first half.
She's done very well. The one on Carly Lloyd earlier. And she's not even their #1, according to Leo Cuellar. Sofia Perez, who isn't with the team right now, is actually the one he thinks they will have for qualifiers.
Qualifiers should start sometime this fall. They've not yet confirmed dates. Off that corner, going inside. Wambach was looking for it, so was Bueller. Box, got ahead to that, now it's cleared. Lepelvet. Vanegas is way out. That goal was empty. U.S. couldn't take advantage of that.
Here's another good look with Abby Wambach trying to find someone in the box, and almost does on that back post. She might actually have been trying to bend it in that back post as well. But another good save by Vanegas for Mexico, given the conditions.
ESPN's presentation of USA Soccer is brought to you by American Airlines. We know why you fly. We're American Airlines. U.S. and Mexico scoreless here in the snow. Clock just now striking the 20-minute mark. Knocked out for a USA throw-in. A lot of the action now has been on this side of the field.
And I think that's to be expected. I think if you're going to play a more direct game, given the height of the United States team, even though that's something they're not trying to do, given the conditions they're going to have to, that plays into the hands more of the United States.
Intended for Perez, that's blocked. Sent long. That was by Diaz. A pass by Ronhal was intercepted by the U.S. and played over towards Kat Whitehill. Whitehill, another player that missed out on the Olympics because of an injury. Dominguez. Perez. Flag stays down. Nice job in the tackle by Lepelvet, who plays for the Boston Breakers.
And it's been so fun to see Amy Lepelvet doing so well at that center back position. Been in and out of the national team for a few years now, and really holding down that center back spot alongside Rachel Bueller, with Christy Rampone being out, and doing a tremendous job. When you talked to Pia yesterday, she said the strength of our team right now is the spine of the team. So the center backs and the 2 center midfielders.
Maria Castillo with that throw-in. U.S. got to that. Rodriguez trying to leave it for Box. Garcia Mendez from Fairview, Texas. Brought down. Dominguez with that pass into the middle. That one's cut off. It was Garza that tried to find an opening. WPS season, that's coming up. April 10th is when it's going to get started. 8 teams are now in the WPS. They kick off that weekend, April 10 through 11. The All-Star game, June 30th, that's going to be in Atlanta, where they have a soccer-specific stadium out in Kennesaw, Georgia.
It's supposed to be a great stadium. Seats about 8,500, I think, for the WPS specifically.
Rodriguez sending it inside. That's Lily. And that's another big play by Venejas coming out on that challenge.
This is a great little ball in that is just coming across the face, and Venejas just getting out enough to disrupt Kristine Lilly and get her a little bit off balance and distract her. But I think that's one Kristine's going to want back.
Wambach, USA's top goal scorer, try to go inside with that pass. No one close enough to it in white. Kat Whitehill steps up, playing in Heather Mitt's spot as the right back. Mitz with this team, but came in with a bit of an injury, and so is not going to be risked in the lineup tonight. LePelvet. Good idea, finding Lily, her Breakers teammate. Inside, towards the end line. O'Reilly had the speed, but that time the ball took off.
I know the one time that Heather gets a chance, it's actually not in the snow, so it just skips out.
24th minute, you're watching the USA versus Mexico under snowy conditions, completely opposite to the conditions that they had in San Diego on Sunday. USA in white, Mexico in green. USA have had the better in terms of the scoring chances so far. Wambach looks up, leads it for Lily. Kristine Lilly into the box with that shot that hits side netting. Lily came in as a sub on Sunday to become the first player to play in 4 decades, and she had quite a few scoring chances.
Yeah, she did. I said to her, I said, I thought you were going to get one in there, and a couple opportunities for an assist as well. And there she sits, second in the world in both assists and goals. Second behind Mia Hamm.
Despite all those numbers, she is not in the team's media guide, so I'm not sure what that tells you in terms of her expectations to play in another World Cup, but right now I think she's back in the mix just by being here.
Right, she played in the 2007 World Cup and then got pregnant and had Sydney, her little baby girl, summer of 2008, so missed the Olympics, and then hasn't really been in the mix since, even though she's wanted to be.
Rodriguez. Taya Venejas has done a great job hanging on to the ball tonight, making big saves and not giving up any rebounds.
She has, because it's hard to hold it. You can see the snow just coming down still, so it's hard to see as well.
Morvis with that pass ahead towards Dominguez. Defended by Stephanie Cox. It goes out for a throw-in for Mexico.
Mira Rodriguez is doing a very good job of being active on that front line. She's been serving balls in, and here, see you spin away. She just needs a little bit of a window. And with these conditions, U.S. should just be cranking shots on the frame.
With the top towards Maribel Dominguez. That's Bueller knocking it away. Rachel Bueller, number 3, her captain at Stanford. On that right side, Garza's pass headed straight up. It's loose for Dominguez. She couldn't come around with a shot. Then she goes down. Jennifer Bennett is not going to give her the call. Play continues.
That's interesting, because I thought she got taken down pretty well. I mean, the thing going against her, she was going away from goal outside the box. We're going to take a look at it here. Maribel very crafty in the ball,
right.
and she definitely gets her.
You're right.
I thought she was actually going to blow the whistle and bring the ball outside the box, which they do often, we know.
It's going to be tough, too, to be an official referee calling this, with the field conditions being what they are. Bueller Miller's pass to the left. Lily backs off on it. Played it up. On the turn. It's blocked once. Mexico tries to get to it. Instead, it's Whitehill. Off a miss hit, but Wambach will keep it alive. Finally blocked and cleared ahead. Perez looking for it against Bueller. Christine Lilly up the sideline. Does well with it. Lilly going strong. Try to send it inside. It's Bandejas instead picking it up.
That's one of the reasons they brought Christine Lilly back onto this team, is that left midfield position has been one that has seen a lot of different players, either through injury or illness or inconsistency. And so Pia said, I wanted to see her mobility.
And Sammy Rodriguez with a goalkeeper out, but couldn't lift it over Bandejas. Picked off by LePelbet for the U.S. WPS Defender of the Year a season ago. Finds Lilly. LePelbet made that nice run. The ball died right there. LePelbet off the right foot inside. Wambach wanted to lay it off. Instead, will hold it. Takes it in a little bit deeper. That's blocked and cleared out. Garza to the right with that pass. And Lloyd. Play continues on. The Mexican player is down as that ball goes out. Too far for O'Reilly. Trying to see who that is on that far side of the field. In the 29th minute, it was a tough collision.
Look at that snow just coming down as well. And here is the collision. Carly Lloyd coming in hard.
Is that Garza, it looks like? No, it's not Garza.
She might have gotten her in the nose, maybe.
Gordillo looks like the player that's down.
Yeah, she got her in the mouth.
Oof. USA and Mexico, 29th minute, scoreless in the snow. Much of the field covered in the white stuff. U.S. players, no real experience in playing in this, same as Mexico. And Mexico already have a sub getting ready to come in via Pando.
I just saw Carly Lloyd make a gesture of get it over the top. Just something they'll be saying to each other.
Well, this is the only time they're able to communicate with play stopped here for the injury. Your thoughts on the way they've played so far, U.S.?
I think it's hard
to tell,
obviously.
right?
Yeah, it's hard to tell with conditions like this. I think the key actually for them is how they react to the conditions. You know it's you got to know it's going to be an ugly game, and you have to just anticipate that before the game, at halftime. Talk about it, not get frustrated if you can't get something on goal. But there's not a lot you can do tactically in this, except for adjusting your tactics by playing that longer ball and getting it in the air.
So Lulu Gordillo is a player stretchered off. Mexico about to make that sub. Leticia Villalpando will come on. She had started Sunday, went the full 90 against the USA. And hopefully Gordillo is okay. So Mexico has to make a change. Allowed 6 subs in this one. And she will just take Gordillo's spot as the right back. Right side, Rodriguez. Couple of cuts, double team now. Rodriguez staying with it. Good job. Now we'll cross it inside and a bounce. Lloyd tried to pounce on it. Played back to Shannon Box. Box off the left foot. That's wide. Box had one of the 3 goals in Sunday's game in San Diego against Mexico.
And Box can hit a great ball from that distance, and so this is the perfect opportunity to do that, because it can take a deflection and it can skip. And so I think the tactic of just putting more on the frame is a good one for the United States.
This one's going to be cleared out of play. We're coming back tomorrow night, April 1st, a Thursday night doubleheader. Major League Soccer, 9 Eastern, defending champions Real Salt Lake taking on the Houston Dynamo. Then at 11 Eastern, it's the Super Classico, Chivas USA and the LA Galaxy. Landon Donovan's team, 1-0 win against New England in their opener on the weekend. Chivas coming up with a loss against Colorado. Wambach. Lily. She went down, gets the call. Free kicks should be interesting in this game. Had a few corners. The first free kick coming up here from what looks like about 24, 25 yards away.
Is it Carly standing on the ball? In their in their whites, I can't even see them.
Yeah, she could use a shovel there.
Could they have worn like red or blue for us?
Would have been different.
How can you even see each other on the field? Good camouflage.
On the whistle, it's Lloyd striking it right off the wall. It stays in play. Rodriguez after it. Warbis defends. And the U.S. will have another corner kick, their third. The 33rd minute.
So on these, typically Abby Wambach, a great target. Shannon Box, number 7. She's probably going to go near post here.
It's Box and Venejas. She did well with that. It's still loose, and now she's got it in the second try. Bueller was creating some havoc inside.
And that was Box on the near post. And these balls are hard to get in. Not a lot of room for Carly Lloyd, so things are coming up short. She's just trying to redirect it on frame. And again, Venejas having a game. She's keeping busy. She's staying warm, JP.
She's been the busier of the two. Barnhart hasn't had to do too much at the other end. Venejas, and that clearance, it'll go out. It belongs to the U.S. Intended for Dominguez, swept away by LePelbit. This time it's Mexico's ball on the throw-in. Castillo. Up the wing. Some holding going on there. The part of Whitehill against Dominguez. Still Mexico's ball with Castillo. They have 6 players here from their under-20 squad. Under-17s and under-20s have done well for Mexico, qualifying for World Cups in those age categories. Now they need to step it up with the full team here to try to qualify for a World Cup. Last time they did it, 1999. LePelbit versus Perez. Stays in play right by the corner flag. Finally, it's out. Mexico's first corner. First corner kick for Mexico.
And Leo Cuellar yesterday said they would maybe look at doing a short corner, but that was before the snow started coming down. So they'll probably have to adjust that tactic because, as we've discussed, they just don't have the height the U.S. has, but they're going to try and lift it in there.
Driven in by Garza, and that's cleared by Barnhart at the near post. Nice job. Garza drives it across, and that's swept away. Warbis didn't get much on that. It's an easy save for Nicole Barnhart.
And that's a good look at Garza, number 19 for Mexico, because she has been talked about being the heir apparent to Maribel Dominguez. Their playmaker, good on the ball.
Right now they have her playing as a left-sided midfielder, but they think that her true spot should be in the center of the midfield when all is said and done.
And Leo's got such a young team here. And as you mentioned, JP, they've done so well with the under-17s and under-20s qualifying, but just haven't been able to crack through at the senior level.
Rodriguez has room. No one is closing her down. Amy Rodriguez will keep it inside. Deflected back out. O'Reilly tried to launch that one across. Headed away, but right back to the U.S. Bueller steps up. Wide for Wambach. And that's too far wide. It'll go out for Mexico. Throw in. Saturday, the English Premier League on ESPN continues. What a matchup. The fight for #1 continues. Manchester United versus Chelsea. The only bad thing, Wayne Rooney out with an ankle sprain. They're saying 2 to 4 weeks. The English Premier League on ESPN2 Saturday, 7:30 a.m. Tough break for Rooney. What a sensational season he's had. 34 goals, I believe, at last count.
Incredible. And England does not need any more injury issues
No.
like the United States. My goodness.
Sure, Fabio Capello was cringing when he watched that game and saw Rooney go down. There's going to be a free kick here for the U.S.
And here's a great opportunity for them to whip it in and try and get something on frame.
Carly Lloyd clearing out a spot as best she can to put this one into play. The 38th minute, she'll send it in. That's blocked in front. Another shot, Lily, and it's a bit too high. Christine Lilly loves that left foot.
I'm feeling like Lil's going to get one today, JP. And here's Carly just going to swing it in there as hard as she can. Lil hits it well there, and it just starts to rise on her, but she got a good look at that one.
Erika Venejas off that goal kick. Mexico will keep it there on the flank. Villalpando on the far side was fouled by Lily. The ball stays with Mexico. Talking about playing a more ambitious schedule this summer in preparation for World Cup qualifying. Over the top, Castillo comes back against O'Reilly. O'Reilly's in, looking, shooting it high. Venejas did well to try to cut out that angle, and apparently got a piece of it. It's a corner.
And Heather, with her speed, if the field is not snowy, is so dangerous on the flank. But these conditions don't play to her strength, but she still does a nice job with that first touch. And again, Venejas, she's out, or she's cutting down the angle. She gets just a tip on it.
Fourth corner, Carly Lloyd strikes it toward the middle on a bounce. Lily comes around off the left foot, but right to Venejas. 40th minute. Christine Lilly's had quite a few chances in this opening half of play. Towards the halfway line, Cox heads that one forward towards box. Help was there from Lily to Lloyd. Carly Lloyd looks long for Whitehill. Cat Whitehill holds it there on the right. 1v1 goes inside. Left puts it across. Box came in a bit late. Lily tried to track it down and apparently saved that there. Or did not. Nope. Referee's assistant.
And that actually is exactly what the United States has been aiming to do. Switch the ball through the midfield, which Carly Lloyd did well. Get an outside back higher and forward, which Cat Whitehill did well. Just missing on that final service into the box.
40 minutes gone. Erika Venejas credited with 8 saves and a few big ones in this opening half of play. U.S. will get it back. Lily stepped up to win it. Wambach laid it off on the left side. Cox got it forward towards box. Inside the box is Shannon Box, and that one is going to be whistled the other way. '41st minute, USA with the better opportunities. But right now, Mexico and the U.S. in a stalemate. No score here. A few minutes away from the end of the first half.
It's fun, though, JP, to see Shannon Box getting forward in the game Sunday against Mexico. I said, I think I saw you go down that right flank like 3 times and get a cross off. Who are you? And she laughed. She goes, Pia tells us, get forward, get forward. You would have loved playing forward, Jules.
Says they run a lot more with this team, and they interchange positions, which she likes.
Yeah, and they really stress that she wants that mobility, which I think is great, that movement. I mean, I remember Germany back in like 2003 World Cup, 2007 World Cup. I mean, that's what they were so good at, just flying people forward. It's so hard to defend and track. And they've been really working on that movement off the ball with the United States team.
Wambach Went down, picked back up, and cleared away by Mexico ahead to Dominguez. Bueller's on her. Ball goes out. It belongs to the U.S. Throw in for Stephanie Cox. She'll try to find Kristine Lilly. Instead, a long ball at the other end. Perez chasing it down against LePelmet. LePelmet did well with that to find Box. Cox towards Lilly. Cut off. Now some possession for Mexico. That long look was denied. LePelmet in the middle, falling down. Dominguez getting to it for Mexico. Looking, but it's blocked. Castillo got it forward. Dominguez lost it again. Carly Lloyd just sends it the other way. It hopped free. Wambach with Rodriguez. Sandoval trying to track her down. That one's tackled away. And then swept out, cleared out by Marilyn Diaz.
Sandoval doing a very good job there because Diaz had tried to step in and win that ball before it even got to Abby and misjudged it a bit. And Sandoval covering for her nicely.
Throwing on the far side for the U.S. Stephanie Cox has gone forward to take it. And for Wambach. It's tackled away. Wambach entering this with 104 career goals. 7th all time. If she scores a couple tonight, she'll jump up a few places. Carly Lloyd will take another corner. 5th one for the U.S. Sent low near post. It was towards Shannon Box. Lloyd is back on it. I'm sure she'll play for Sky Blue in the WPS. Last year she played with Chicago. End line. Really trying to make something happen there. And still will. She'll play it all the way across. Deflected up. Vanegas grabs it. Coming up at halftime, we'll head back to our studios. Max Bretos, Alexi Lau is on hand. They'll give you an update on the Wayne Rooney injury and also something with Cesc Fabregas. Stay tuned for that. Some news on Arsenal and their star player. Box. Going forward towards Wambach. That's cut off. O'Reilly. Holding it there. Heather O'Reilly sends it the opposite way. Carly Lloyd trying to go inside of Castillo. Garcia Mendez watches as that ball goes out. It belongs to Mexico.
Mexico doing a good job of staying fairly organized as well in a game like this. That can be sometimes hard to do. You can get pulled out of position, and they're doing a good job of staying relatively compact defensively.
1 minute added on here. Vanegas has been the bigger story for Mexico. For the USA, the big story, Kristine Lilly back on the U.S. national team. O'Reilly with that cross swept away. Picked up by Whitehill. Floats that one in there for Wambach. And there's Vanegas again. What a great opportunity, though, for the U.S. to get one before the first half ends. We're in stoppage time now.
And how many times have we seen Abby just nip that right in front of the goalkeeper in for a goal?
Aerial game has to be tough tonight because of the footwork and so slippery. Trying to keep your balance. Get up there for it. At the other end, Perez. Bueller cutting that off. Stephanie Cox, the first half coming to a close. Diaz blocked. Rodriguez with about 20 seconds left in this first half. Mexico comes up with it, the advantage call. Held up there by the Alpando.
I think Amy Rodriguez has been very active this first half. Hit a couple good ones on goal, a few good crosses as well. We won't see Lauren Cheney tonight. She didn't make the roster because she's missing the next game against Germany in May due to her sister getting married. So Pia chose not to play her tonight. But that's a big question mark for the U.S. Who will be the strike partner for Abby? Wambach up top.
Mexico will clear. We're beyond the 1 minute of stoppage time, and now Jennifer Bennett blows the whistle. First half has come to a close. Snowy conditions. Erica Venegas has been the bigger story. At last count, she had 8 saves. Maribel Dominguez, Christine Lilly, some of the big names involved in this game, but no one has been able to get on the score sheet. Snowing the entire day, and it's expected to continue in the second half. After the break, Max Bretos and Alexi Lalas will take you through halftime. The kick. The U.S. and Mexico in a scoreless one under snowy conditions that most of these players have probably never seen before, let alone played. And here are the highlights of the first half.
And here's a good look by Amy Rodriguez. She spins and then is going to find this little seam in behind the Mexican back line. And we're seeing this a lot. Mexico's holding their line pretty well, and there's this gap you're going to see. We're going to see the line there, and then this huge gap in the box between their back line and their goalkeeper. And the U.S. on this occasion found that gap well. Christine Lilly almost on the backside to get it in, but they haven't done that enough. Another good service in from Kat Whitehill, but I think they need to have better service in the box this second half.
Snow continues here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Not a big crowd here, but certainly a crowd that's been into it right from the start. You got to applaud them for coming out on a night like this.
Brave souls.
Alex Morgan has come in, number 21, replacing Amy Rodriguez. That's the one change for the U.S. And as we mentioned at the top, she's the only player not playing in the WPS. She's still in college on a roster of 24 that came in for these 2 games against Mexico.
She plays at the University of California, JP, but we will not hold that against her.
No, a Stanford grad. You can't help it.
She's had a great season, though, at Cal. 14 goals, a junior there. Speedy, can crank a ball with her left foot. And so, again, the question mark hanging for the U.S. team is that strike partner with Abby. And here's a chance for Pia, even in these conditions, to look at Alex Morgan today.
Don't see any changes here from Mexico at the start of this second half. Perez, right side, Villalpando, over the top. Could have been dangerous, but that was handled. Flag is up. Maribel Dominguez still has to be the most dangerous player out there for Mexico. Garcia Mendez played it forward. Mueller is back, playing it to Barnhart. And those are tricky passes as well. Back to the goalkeeper on a night like this.
And this is where Mexico has to remain confident, because a ball over the top, you never know what's going to happen. And they've got, in Maribel Dominguez and Perez, 2 fast forwards who can create opportunities. And all you need is a little slip or a skip, and you're in.
Morgan. She has broken up but stayed with it. Far side, pass inside. The look was for Morgan again. And that's sent the other way. Got word from the locker room, trying to get some reaction from some of the players and what it was like out there. According to Kat Whitehill, she said it was unbelievable. Literally can't feel my toes. Carly Lloyd's comment was just that never played in anything like this, as we expected. Never seen this with the U.S. women. And you played with them for years and never saw it.
Never. Played in some cold games, but never the white stuff.
This one will trickle in on goal, where Venegas was the star of the first half. On that long clearance, halfway line stopped by the U.S. Whitehill towards Lilly. Wambach pushed it out wide. Stephanie Cox is way up. Now for Christine Lilly on the left side. That cross is denied. Really landed in really like a bank of snow on that left side, where it's really built up more than in other parts of the field.
Yeah, those corners outside the box near the corner flag are a mess. Thick snow.
Some key dates for the U.S. The big one against Germany on May 22nd. That's in Cleveland. as the U.S. try to keep this ball alive. Qualifying for the tournament for the next World Cup will be sometime this fall after the WPS season.
They're talking late October, early November for World Cup qualifiers.
Right now, according to FIFA, USA #1 team in the world. Germany is #2. Normally they don't get to play Germany, not in this country, playing them in tournaments over the years and then in the big tournaments like the World Cup stage. But to play them in Cleveland, that'll be a great test for both of those teams.
That'll be a great game. About a year out from the big dance.
We'll have that game as well on ESPN2. Carly Lloyd with that pass wanted Wambach. Easier said than done. Bueller tracks it down, finds Stephanie Cox. Halfway line, just shy of that with that pass. Wambach chested it down for Lily. She couldn't get to it. Got it in the second try. Shannon Box drives it across. Just missed Morgan. Stepping up. Carly Lloyd, a low shot. That's wide.
Here, Abby's trying to keep it alive. Kristine Lilly getting forward, which is a good thing for the United States. They're getting some numbers forward, but gets caught. Caught in the thick snow on the edges there.
More great numbers for Lilly, playing in 4 decades. No current 4-decade players in the NBA. There are 5 in the NHL, potentially 3 in the upcoming baseball season, maybe 2 when the NFL gets started. Bueller comes back for it. The numbers on Lilly are just amazing, and now she'll have a chance at being part of another World Cup team. She's already been in 5 World Cups.
Every single one.
Pride of Wilton, Connecticut. And again, she'll play for the Boston Breakers this coming season.
You know, Katie Fawcett, Joy's oldest child, is, in high school now, so Kristine could be playing with her someday on the U.S. team.
Lilly will get to this. Sends it in low. Swept away. Another throw in for the U.S. Stephanie Cox got it inside for Lilly. Back for Cox. He tried to go inside, and that was blocked out for throwing, but this time from Mexico. This is Jennifer Bennett. Villalpando will take the throw in. Lilly. Wambach brought it down. Couldn't get to it. Garcia Mendez was there against her. Nice job. Goal kick is coming. Coming back tomorrow night with an MLS Thursday night doubleheader, 9 Eastern, defending champions Real Salt Lake against the Houston Dynamo, who'll have a different look this year, minus Stuart Holden and Ricardo Clark, who are playing in Europe. And then at 11 Eastern, Chivas versus the LA Galaxy. It's a Super Classico with a balanced schedule now. Those 2 teams meet only twice all season, once tomorrow, once in October.
It was fun to watch Real make that run last year. All the way to the Cup.
They came in with a big win against San Jose on the weekend. They left just in time. They missed all this weather there in Houston. They got there today.
Yeah, maybe a good sign for Real. I think they won. They probably didn't win a game on the road last year, did they?
They struggled.
The playoffs.
Struggled.
They won their first one on the road.
Brought down, sent forward. Villalpando. Kristine Lilly got it back for Stephanie Cox. Castillo steps up. Foul goes against the U.S.
And here's a chance finally for Mexico to try and get some numbers forward and be a little more aggressive. They've been playing very conservative in terms of sending numbers.
Well,
actually,
if Diaz is looking for a dry spot, she's not going to find it.
She's trying to tee it up. That's great.
Give her credit. She's just 18, plays on the under-19 Mexican team. They think she's a rising star. She takes their free kicks, floated in, but Barnhart is right there. Leonard, the #3 goalkeeper at the 2007 World Cup, back up on the Olympic squad. Another player out of Stanford.
Good card.
Your alma mater's in the NCAA Final Four too,
JP.
right? NCAA Final Four for
right.
women's basketball. People wondering if Stanford might be the team, if they got that far, that could beat UConn. UConn already beat them once this year.
Yeah, it's a tough task.
Yep. 55th minute. USA and Mexico scoreless. Tough game, tough conditions for these two teams. Garcia Mendez couldn't get that one through. Christine Lilly left it there for Box. Intended for Stephanie Cox. What's amazing tonight is the balance, I think, and the grace and athleticism of a lot of these players. They're not falling with or without the ball.
Yeah, and you can see how slick it is. It's a nice soggy snow as well when it was coming down today. It was really wet.
Carly Lloyd for Wambach. Skipped away, but she's got it back. Wambach will hold it there, and that's blocked. Comes back for Lilly. Those two always look for one another in the field. It comes back now. Pushed up by Bueller. Shannon Box left it there. That's O'Reilly out wide. Whitehill in for Lloyd. She got a head to it, but it'll go wide. Goal kick, Mexico.
The better service for the United States. Kat, known for her service, Kat Whitehill. Finding a player in the box. There's that gap in behind Mexico's back line. Kat doing a good job of trying to pick out Carly Lloyd, and she just gets in a little too early and underneath the ball. Can't get anything on it. But I almost think a driven ball would serve the USA well. Getting it in there tough, and it's going to maybe take a deflection or skip off someone. And not always looking back post, hitting that near post.
15-1 USA with the edge in shots. It was 21-2 USA on Sunday in that 3-0 USA win. Whitehill on the right flank. USA in the all-white uniforms, Mexico in green and white, and it's Mexico picking it up, sending it forward. Dominguez trying to get free. The ball got too far away, and Bueller was able to get a piece of it. It goes out of play. USA has dominated against Mexico. They won that game on Sunday, only that one draw. A game that was played in Albuquerque a couple years back.
We have dominated. U.S. has dominated over the years for sure. I keep waiting for that the Mexican team to catch up a little bit. And I know it's frustrating for some of their players because they want it to happen faster than it is. But they say, Leo Cuellar said, you know, we're getting, finally, the culture is changing a little bit to where Mexico's more accepting of young girls playing soccer. And maybe that's why they've had success at the under-17 and under-20 level.
Stephanie Cox with that throw-in for Wambach. Swept out, and then right back in from the U.S. Shannon Box tried to come around with it. Blocked. She tried to stay with it. Rangel gave it back to O'Reilly. Carly Lloyd. Wambach trying to leave it off from Morgan. Dominguez, she had the right idea, but she couldn't make that pass across. Perez was up top. Back into the box towards Wambach. It never got there. Sandoval headed it away. Castillo blocked by Morgan. Garcia Mendez got it upfield. Shipped up toward the halfway line. Well read. Bueller stepped up, won it. Kept it on the ground. Wambach to the outside. Lloyd. Lilly. Left-footed cross was low, but that was denied.
So tough. So tough to get anything on there in that corner. It's almost like your first touch has to get into that box so you can have any type of service.
Whitehill low, that's blocked. All the way up to Garza. She tried to find Dominguez, blocked by LePelbet. Pelbet stepped up, tried to get it forward. Mexico break that up. Mexico have a sub up, Luz Salcedo. is up by the fourth official. It's Barnhart to Bueller for Stephanie Cox. Wambach off the chest, left side. Lily for Box. Trying to cut inside, tack it out for a corner. Touched out by Diaz.
You mentioned this earlier, JP, but you can see the chemistry between Abby and Kristine Lilly, Abby Wambach. They just seem to connect. You know, Abby even said yesterday when Kristine Lilly came on the field on Sunday, it was like, immediately, this sigh of relief, like, okay, here we go. And it was just like they had been, you know, they had never taken a gap.
Sixth corner for the U.S. Carly Lloyd making some room for herself there. Drives it to the middle. Punched away. Dominguez flicked it away from danger. That's a good job. She still fights for it. U.S. got it back. LaPelbet. Lily off that touch. Box is in. Shannon Box, the low shot, and a goal for Wambach. The U.S. leads. That's number 105.
You know they were practicing that at halftime. So many possibilities for celebrations. And this starts with Lil just getting a touch into Boxy, who drives it across. And that's the beauty of the driven ball, is you never know in conditions like this what's going to happen. Drives it across and it gets through. Abby, just an easy tap in for her. A gimme putt. And 105 she's at.
She's now tied with Carolina Morace and the great Michelle Akers. A lot of people have compared them, Akers and Wambach. I think maybe because of their physical size. You've played with both of those players. How are they alike? How are they different?
Well, I mean, both so gifted. I mean, and gifted in front of goal. Both tremendous goal scorers, as you can see by those numbers. But I think Michelle had more versatility in places she could play on the field. She could play all over the field. And even a more dominating physical presence than Abby. I mean, there's just no one out there like a Michelle Akers in the world, and there still hasn't been.
Subs were made for the U.S. So you've got Kelly O'Hara, Casey Noguera, and Megan Schnorr, who have all come into the game now for the U.S. Cox is left. O'Reilly has also been subbed out.
Three players here will be looking at to see if they can make that World Cup squad. Kelly O'Hara just getting her first cap on Sunday.
Kristine Lilly was the other player who was subbed out. Her night is done. USA has the lead. Mexico now needing one to draw level. Up towards Perez. LaPelbet cut it off. Intended for Wambach. And now it comes back toward Barnhart.
And what's not a coincidence with those substitutions, JP, is all are outside players. Casey Noguera came in at left midfield. Kelly O'Hara's on the right outside midfield, and Megan Schnorr is on the left back position. All positions that she says we need to strengthen on the U.S. team. So looking at different options going forward.
Wambach went down. The foul was called against Mexico. Wambach with the game's only goal. She averages a goal every 98 minutes. The great Mia Hamm, one goal for every 130 minutes. So it tells you what kind of a strike ratio Wambach is all about.
And here is a great opportunity because you're finally able to get some footing on a set piece.
Whitehill into the box. That's cleared away. Casey Noguera tracked it down. On that right side, this cross. That's blocked. Shannon Box lost her footing at the moment. Couldn't crack that one the way she wanted to. Played forward towards Dominguez. Far side, Mexico looking for an equalizer. Wasn't coming that way. Pass up intended for Wambach, who's playing up top now with Alex Morgan, who is making her international debut with this appearance. This is Morgan on the ball, looks for Wambach. With the game's only tally, 65th minute, U.S. with a 1-0 lead over Mexico. Box was sitting there waiting for that ball to come to her, and it just died there again. Fox, what a ball that was. Casey Nogueira, property now of the Chicago Red Stars of WPS, goes right to goal.
And how's that coming off the bench into a game like this? How do you warm up for something like that?
2010 FIFA World Cup coming this summer to ESPN. Action beginning on ESPN June 11th. Live from South Africa. All the games on ESPN, ESPN2, and ABC in HD. Dominguez trying to track this one down. Maribel Dominguez pushed it to the outside, and that one goes in wide from Rangel. Let's talk about the groups in the World Cup coming up. USA in the group with England, Slovenia, and Algeria. And everyone is looking forward to that very first match. And what a way to get started, USA versus England.
I know. And I think actually that is a great group for the United States, given some of the groups the U.S. has had in the past, which have been so difficult. So I know there was never can be an easy group at a World Cup, but I think there was a sigh of relief for sure, because that is very realistic to get through.
They certainly avoided the group of death, so that's a plus.
And they should get through. You know, it's not even realistic. I think there'll be a lot of disappointed people if they don't.
U.S. getting it back, left side. Schnorr played at the University of Connecticut. Nogueira. His dad, Victor, former great goalkeeper indoors in the old Major Indoor Soccer League. It's blocked by Mexico. They'll play it forward. Buehler cut that off and then gave it right back to Perez. Dominguez getting it. 1 against 3 right now.
That's the problem for Maribel Dominguez, is she's getting forward these last few minutes, and it's 1 against 4, 1 against 5. Perez is trying desperately to give her some numbers and get up there, but Mexico's playing deep.
Morgan blocked there. Garcia Mendez. 2 collegiate players there battling. Casey Nogueira won 3 titles at UNC. Cut off there. That's a nice read. Villalpando then sent it too long. Buehler knocked that away. On the sideline, Dominguez kept it in. Here's Perez. Barnhart was going to come out and had to change her mind. Boy, you got to make decisions even quicker now because of the field conditions.
And it's tough for Barnhart, who hasn't had many touches, to suddenly, you know, and that's the challenge for a goalkeeper in a slow game, to suddenly be alert and ready, constantly focused.
Quite a difference on the opposite side, where Banejas at last count had faced 15 shots. That was a while back. Rolling towards the sideline, the U.S. with Schnorr will capture it. Buehler. 68th minute. Mexico have another sub getting up. Ruben Lopez is getting ready to check in. Out for a throw-in for the U.S. Leading on a Wambach goal in the 68th minute. Perez is the one that is coming out. Meanwhile, Rachel Buehler just came over the sideline. Was there a foot problem, footwear?
I think just Rachel Buehler and Boxer, they got their gloves on, so their fingers are probably frostbitten, so they can't even tie their own laces, seeking help from the sidelines. My fingers are cold, and I've got a heater underneath.
Yeah, I see that.
I think I'm getting kind of wimpy in my old age.
I can't believe you asked for the heater up here. Lopez for, oh, was that me? That was me.
I wasn't going to say that.
Okay. Lopez is in.
I wasn't going to write you out.
31-year-old midfielder. Some fresh legs coming in from Mexico here as Morgan played it across. It's loose and gathered in by Saucedo. Saucedo's pass blocked. Flip helmet. Mexico 2 against 5 right now. Numbers stacked against them. Evelyn Lopez pushed it back. The pass from Morvis. Lopez with those fresh legs, and Barnhart makes the nice play. Talks about the USA in the World Cup. How about Mexico? I would think they have a chance to advance in their group as well. Not saying it's going to be easy. They're in with the host South Africa, Uruguay, and France. And what kind of a team might France have? They were fortunate that they qualified this time around.
Dear me. Makes you want instant replay in soccer.
Yes. Poor Thierry Henry, that's what a lot of people will remember him for, and he's an outstanding player, one of the best in the world.
And, you know, any soccer player knows that it's an unconscious movement of the hand sometimes, so I feel a little bit bad for him.
Yeah.
And I feel a lot bad for Ireland, though.
Yes. USA with the ball, playing it wide left. Schnorr stepping up. Lifting it over. That's headed away by Mexico. They'll come back with it. Rangel. Foul was called by Jennifer Bennett. And a warning to Carly Lloyd, a yellow card. First booking of the night.
This has to be encouraging, though, for Mexico. It's 70 minutes in. You're still in this. It's 1-0. You know, Perez just got a shot on frame, and so, you know, for Leo Cuellar and his team, it's something they can rally around going into that last 20s. Here's a chance for us to take a few more risks and get some numbers forward.
U.S. will clear it.
And for the U.S., it becomes a game about results rather than, you know, what are we going to figure out tactically. Not much you can do in a game like this. You just gotta gut out the win.
You know, when you saw the snow, it's going to be a goal kick. You wondered about Mexico and how they would come out, but they're only down by 1. The Abby Wambach goal is the difference in this one. Here's another look back at it.
Good little ball into Boxy by Lil, and Boxy does well. She knows she doesn't have an angle and is just going to try and get it across the frame. And a low-driven ball is going to work well in these conditions in the Snow Angel.
Look at the record when Wambach scores, and she has scored some big goals for this team. Usually, the bigger the tournament, the bigger the goal score. 6 goals at the 2007 World Cup. She was big in the previous Olympics, obviously not the one in 08 that she missed, but in 04.
Scored the winner for the U.S. for us, and then in the final, she still kiss her forehead for that one.
Kat Whitehill will hold it there. U.S. leading, 72nd minute. Just the 1 goal is the difference. You wondered when Mexico came out and saw all this snow, you saw some of the players taking photographs, sort of laughing about it. You wondered how they would play. They played pretty loose in this one. If it's bothering them, you wouldn't know it by the way they've played. They've hung in there.
Well, and as we said earlier on, it's a bit of an equalizer for them. They may have been ecstatic about it because when the conditions are a little bit better, it definitely favors the United States team and roster.
Lori Lindsay is up by the 4th official, getting ready to be the next USA sub. Morgan. Into space toward Wambach. Sandoval. Couldn't hear the whistle, but the foul was called. And now we're going to see the change. It's going to be Lori Lindsay coming in for Shannon Box. So the captain will give the armband to Abby Wambach. And play will resume when Lori Lindsay comes in. Lindsay will play this year for the Philadelphia Independent. She was the first pick by Philly in the expansion draft. Played for Washington a year ago.
And it's great to see Lori Lindsay doing so well. I played with her in San Diego with the Spirit of the WSA days, and has been in and out of the national team player pool for so many years, and really Pia has given her her best look so far.
Pia Sundhage, USA's head coach, says sometimes she'll see up to a couple of WPS games on a weekend. She heavily scouts that league, so she'll be busy when those teams kick off starting the weekend of April 10-11. Second year of WPS.
And that is the great thing about the league.
Flag is up. Mexico's offside. Dominguez.
Because these players get a second life. You know, Lori Lindsay is one person. Stephanie Cox is another. Yep. Because she did well with LA Souls. Pia gave her another look on the national team.
Pia Sundhage credited the WPS with the improvement of several players, including Bueller and Lepelbit. Lloyd headed away. Warbis for Mexico. Wanted Evelyn Lopez, couldn't find her there. Carly Lloyd, early ball on a bounce. An easy play for Venejas, who hasn't had to make too many easy plays on this night. She's been impressive in goal. She'll launch that one well over the halfway line. Bueller picks it up. The Whitehill pass intercepted. Garcia Mendez give it right back to the U.S. High flick. Sandoval, number 3, clearing it for Mexico. For Salcedo. And in the middle for Warbis. Good idea, but Lindsay blocked it. Now in his space. Way out is Barnhart calling for it. Wambach turning it upfield. Wambach will hold it, puts it across. That pass on the left side for Schnorr from Lloyd. Schnorr hangs that one up there for Wambach. She couldn't get to it. Still a chance for the U.S. And it deflected wide. Lindsay nearly knocked it in at the post as it was sent across. It was Kelly O'Hara. We're going to say it's a quarter number 7 coming up.
And first, a great ball in by Megan Schnorr across and skips wide to Kelly O'Hara, who does well to not just crank it first touch, but actually cut it back across the sliding defender. Unlucky not to get one in there. Good composure, though, for only her second cap.
Lloyd to the middle. Mexico is able to clear ahead. Dominguez. 1v1, got it free, continues. She's got a player open, Evelyn Lopez. U.S. getting some numbers back quickly. Mexico will also get some numbers ahead, including Salcedo. That needed to happen much quicker for Mexico. Villalpando blocked there. Noguera. Long ball for O'Hara. Wambach chases it down. Wambach holding it there. Noguera. Morgan. That's blocked as well. Diaz up for Lopez.
And there you see in the 77th minute, Abby initiating that play with a run across the field, and playing in this heavy snow is exhausting. You're just trudging through this thick stuff. And she talked about, actually, it took me a full year to come back from my injury, the broken leg. And she said, but I actually feel like I'm more mobile, I'm more fit, which I thought was interesting. Because, you know, with a double fracture, or I'm not sure, just the bad fracture that she had, a lot of people say, you know, they may not even make it back to playing.
Noguera finds Wambach, but it was slightly behind her. Warbis picks it up, paid that price. The foul is on Wambach, who scored her 100th goal against Canada in Rochester. She showed us a picture yesterday that she carries on her cell phone. Called that one of the most special days of her entire life. Picture of her looking up into the stands, celebrating.
She was just beaming from ear to ear, looking up at her family, she said, in the stands, and someone happened to capture it.
Here's a substitution now. Brittany Taylor, another UConn player, coming on. And the two-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year there. She plays now for Sky Blue. She replaces Kat Whitehill.
And she actually said, Abby said regarding her 100th goal, that she needed that goal for confidence. When you look at a player like Abby, you don't think you'd hear that from them. And I think that's a good thing for young players to hear, that that they, the best in the world still struggle with confidence at times as well.
Her goal is a difference in this one tonight. Wambach, right by the bench area. Left it for Nogueira. On a bounce back, Buehler's there. Off that deflection, picked back up. Salcedo for Mexico. Against Lloyd, tried to go inside, but Evelyn Lopez didn't read it the same way. Off Barnhart's kick. Halfway line area for Lindsay. Nogueira blocked there. Villalpando pressured by Nogueira. It's deflected out. Belongs to Mexico. Long thrown up the flank. Dominguez. It's deflected. Last touched apparently by Mexico. U.S. will have a throw-in. Nogueira blocked there, cleared the other way. Back in USA territory. Buehler will pick it up. Schnorr. Too far for Lloyd. Salcedo. 15 in green and white for Mexico. The Warvis pass, right side. Dominguez cutting. Trying to create something on her own. One miss there. Another one by Castillo. That's blocked. Mexico pressuring for an equalizer. U.S. is able to clear it. And it goes back on Mexico's side of the halfway line. And now finally cleared out of play.
This is why Maribel Dominguez is so good. Very crafty. And that's the danger in a game like this. Again, 10 minutes left in the game. Mexico's still in it. Mexico, if U.S. could have put the Kelly O'Hara goal away or one of their other opportunities away, it's a completely different side.
Intended for Wambach. Swept away by Young Diaz. U.S. back with more possession on the right flank. Out for a throw on Saturday. The EPL on ESPN continues the fight for number one Manchester United taking on Chelsea. ESPN2 Saturday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. And again, the big story there, no Wayne Rooney. We'll see how Manchester United adjusts to life without Rooney. They're going to miss him for some 2 to 4 weeks, and that'll include Champions League.
Only one player, an interesting note, only one player on that Man U team above 5 goals outside of Wayne Rooney.
Yeah.
First off.
You see a lot of those players on both teams in the upcoming World Cup for several countries. Remember that in 2006. So many players from the EPL. Sent into the box. That's too far away. Intended for Nogueira. 83rd minute. USA still hanging on to that 1-0 lead on an Abby Wambach goal. Their unbeaten streak alive, 42 games coming in on U.S. soil. 39 of those are wins. This is a game they're going to remember for a long time.
Not sure if they'll laugh or cry about it, maybe.
They'll warm up first, and then they'll tell stories.
I was trying to think of what was the tricks you used to do when you were skiing, to keep your toes warm. When Kat mentioned her toes were frozen, she couldn't feel them. Wrap them with cellophane. Didn't you used to do that?
No.
Come on, JP. You're an East Coast guy.
I didn't ski. No, I didn't ski.
You're not
skated, but not ice skated. But never had that problem.
I thought you were a big snowboarder.
No. Somebody else. Nogueira.
Oh, I saw you on the half pipe last night.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
Somebody else. Schnorr with this cross. Inside one. Wambach. It's loose for Morgan. And picked up by Vanegas.
Another good ball in by Schnorr, whipping into the box. And a good idea by Alex Morgan to try and bring it down, but Just too much on it.
84th minute, tough game for players, tough game for coaches in terms of what to get out of this. Mexico's Salcedo plays it forward.
Good game to do a mentality test for your players, how they handle it. I always found that an interesting test. Any type of adversity thrown at you, how do you react to it?
Morgan holding it there. Nogueira. As bad as the conditions are, obviously they are the same for both, so who adjusts? '85th minute. USA's next game will be against Germany, hopefully under much better conditions in May in Cleveland, Ohio. Game's on ESPN2. USA-Germany, Saturday, May 22nd. Germany, two-time defending World Cup champions, and they host the next World Cup, June of 2011. That one's lost there. Wambach went down. That net is empty. So that's where the footing was a little tricky for Vanegas.
And I'll tell you one positive Leo Cuellar will take from this game is he's got a goalkeeper in Vanegas. Even though she misses this one here in the snow, she's kept this game 1-0 for them in very difficult circumstances.
Carly Lloyd continues her battle there. This time Salcedo loops it up. Wanted Lopez, denied there. Cleared by Bueller. Salcedo. Evelyn Lopez, an early ball. Dominguez trying to get behind the U.S. defense. 4 players came back against Dominguez. It goes out. It belongs to Mexico.
And you would think with 5 minutes left to go in this game, still a chance, Mexico would start to take more chances. Start pushing some players up.
Lopez, Villalpando. U.S. hoping for another shutout here. They pride themselves on defense, going back to when you played. They think their offense right now has been a little bit better since the Olympics. But defense, when you played, you always took pride in that, shutting out another team.
Oh, yeah. And they, I mean, I think really that's what won them the gold medal at the Olympics is their defense, especially against Brazil in that final match, shutting down Marta. Tremendous depth, too. When you think their 2 center backs were the 2 moms in Markgraf and Rampone for the Olympics, they're now out. And you've got Bueller and McKelvitz still holding that back line well. Doing great.
Kate Markgraf, after a year off having twins, back to playing for Chicago, WPS, and Christy Rampone out on maternity leave. Coach Sky Blue at the end of the year to the WPS championship. Heather O'Reilly, who played earlier in this game, was the MVP, had the game-winning goal in that game against LA. Bueller up the wing. Nogueira cut off there at the halfway line. Then Schnorr stepped up. Mexico back on it. They try to play quickly. Dominguez shooting it. Well, she didn't have a bad idea there. She saw Barnhart coming out. Not bad.
I love the idea. She just couldn't quite execute it. And she's getting in between them, though, those 2 center backs. And sees, and I think it hit a little snowbank right before she shot it, which didn't help.
And for WPS teams looking for a striker, Dominguez told us yesterday she'd love to play in the United States. She's been playing with a lower level team in Spain where she said the competition is good but not quite up to the WPS standards. Garcia Mendez in the chase there. Castillo blocked by Lindsay. 89th minute, USA with a 1-0 lead over Mexico in the snow in Utah. Morgan trying to lay it back for Wambach. U.S. will keep it. Intended for Nogueira. Mexico back with it. Salcedo blocked. Lloyd steps in. Carly Lloyd with a couple of cuts. Leads it for Wambach a bit too far, but the flag is up. Offside in the U.S. And another sub for Mexico. Warbis is going to come out, and Monica Vergara, who played on the 2004 Olympic team, will replace her. They were Olympic teammates in 04. And Vergara will get the captain's armband. She's not going to get in here too much action depending on stoppage time. We are in the 90th minute. Diaz sends it long. Villalpando. That one goes out of play. It belongs to the U.S. They can take some more time off the clock. Megan Schnorr with a throw-in. Dominguez up for Lopez. Cut off there. Sent the other way by Brittany Taylor. Kelly O'Hara. That's blocked. Bueller. That one goes ahead towards Dominguez. Schnorr reacted well and sent it the other way towards Taylor. 1 minute added on. You knew under these conditions that they weren't going to put a lot of stoppage time on. At least you hope that. Everybody hoped that, I'm sure. U.S. leading on an Abby Wambach goal. Her 105th and 19th against Mexico in this her 17th game against them. Villalpando all the way upfield. Bueller is there. We're in stoppage time, halfway done with it and beyond. Schnorr holds it up for Wambach. Lloyd over the top, headed for Morgan. Mexico will try to clear it up the line. It goes out.
Then it goes into the snowbank, into the corner, and everything dies.
Maguetta, that's blocked. Carly Lloyd, that's going to do it. The U.S. has another victory, unbeaten now in 43 on U.S. soil, 40-0-3. Abby Wambach with the game's only goal for Abby Wambach, career number 105, now tied with the great Michelle Akers, and Carolina Maranchi will come back and put a wrap on this from Utah. U.S. wins 1-0. U.S. players saluting the crowd that braved the elements here tonight. A tough night for the players and fans alike as the U.S. defeats Mexico by the score of 1-0. The only goal was scored by Abby Wambach, and it came in the 60th minute, and Abby is joining us right now at the field. We've got to ask you first about those field conditions. What exactly was it like for you and your team?
Pretty much like you got 10 pounds on each cleat. Not great footing. The ball kind of has a mind of its own in some moments, so wasn't the best conditions, but you know, I think we made the best of it, and you know, glad we got the win.
Abby, you've had great success scoring against Mexico in the past. How difficult was it to get one tonight, given the conditions?
Well, you know, we were just getting in, getting crosses in, getting chances, but this surface was so tough that, you know, the ball would bounce weird. You'd whiff it. Literally, I think I whiffed it a few times. Fell just right over because I slipped. So you gotta be glad for the things that you did get, and you know, it's hard to judge anything on a surface like this, honestly.
What does the team take away from a game like this? What are you guys going to talk about? What do you learn from a night like this, even though it's not the prettiest game? Well,
I think the resilience. You know, I think this team has an ability to win. We don't like to lose, especially on our own home surface. And granted, it's snowing 5 inches on the surface, but I think that, you know, we want to keep growing. You know, the World Cup is around the corner, and we all have WPS seasons to go back to tomorrow. And you know, we want to be the best in the world, and we want to win the World Cup 2011.
Thanks for joining us. Get warm.
Thanks.
Easier said than done. Julie Fadi, final thoughts.
I think Abby said it so well right there, actually. If there's one thing you can take away is that you persevered in a game like this and got the result, and that's the most important thing.
USA beats Mexico. Final score tonight, 1-0 on an Abby Wambach goal. Our next soccer telecast, an MLS doubleheader tomorrow. No snow in the games we'll be covering for you. Real Salt Lake at Houston and Chivas USA versus the LA Galaxy in the Super Classico. Up next, stick around for SportsCenter. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Julie Foudy, I'm JP Dellacamera. We say so long. Our final score here from Sandy, Utah, US 1, Mexico, no score. Good night, everyone.